Welcome back, guys. This is our third conversation, and our guests joining us this morning are going to be walking us through the importance of slowness and movement and meditation and mindfulness. We have here with us this morning Michelle Shanti Williams. She is the founder of Shanti Belize Yoga and Wellness Center. She's also no stranger to our set here, but we also have joining us virtually is Lisa Kelleher. She's a yoga teacher, radical transformation yoga instructor as well. And please forgive us, she's joining in all the way from Ireland, and so she will be leaving us in a few minutes as well. But thank you so much for joining us, ladies, and welcome.
Thank you so much. Nice to see you guys again.
Yes.
I'm just going to do a quick introduction so that Lisa can get in, but I just wanted to clarify something. We're talking today about Rhythm of Change, Belize, which is a nonprofit organization that pre-COVID we were doing all these self-care and stress management courses in places like the prison, the youth hostel. We had ambassadors doing community classes, so on and so forth. And I think you knew, because I think you interviewed me while I was in India.
Yes.
For the first part of COVID, I was in India, and Lisa was one of the people that I spent pretty much 6 months with, and we were doing a lot of breath work and a lot of work to help with just managing life, really. And so when I came back to Belize and everything had shut down, I wanted to find alternatives for the programs that we had that were in person. And so I reached out to Lisa, knowing that she's an expert in trauma processing. She uses breath and holistic healing to help people heal. And so that's how she was able to film this beautiful 30-day course. And we ended up piloting it in the female section of the prison, and it did really well, and they had it on rotation. So I'll hand it over to Lisa.
Lisa, thank you so much for joining us, and good morning, or whatever time of the day it is.
Good evening.
p.m. almost, yeah. And so the breath is so important for us, right? It's like, we know this. The breath is what gives us life, right? It's the first thing we do, last thing we do. And when we start to work with it, whole of life starts to open up, right? And so through the breath, we can do things like master our mind, regulate our emotions, shift our mood, start to open up our system so that we can connect with people in a deeper way, detoxify body and mind, right? Cleansing our system. 70% of our detoxification is done through our breath, right? And if we want to stay healthy, then we have to cleanse our systems.
Michelle spoke about meeting you, Lisa, in India. Now you're in another side of the world again, but talk to us about the importance of having this project be seen and felt here in Belize on this side of the world as well.
And so it was created for Belize, for the prison system. Also, I heard it's been given to other, like maybe military or teachers. And I just feel like I was in Belize back in maybe 20, well, I don't know, a while ago.
When we were there, we realized that she had been in Belize.
You didn't know each other when you were in India. Oh, wow, so serendipitous.
Yeah, it was very.
Go ahead.
Well, it supports us in enlivening our systems, you know? And so for everybody the world over, I think I saw some statistic that maybe this study was done in the US, but 18% of people say that they're stressed constantly, right? And so that's happening in other countries too. And so think about the ripple that creates. If 1/5 of the population is stressed all the time, then when each of us can take a little bit of time, maybe 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and just regulate our systems, come into a more beautiful state, then we get to feel better within ourselves and then meet everything, life and other people from that place. And so beneficial wherever it is in the world. Yeah.
I can safely say that from you started your introduction, there was already a sense of calm. I don't know, I felt it very, very calming, but what has the feedback been from the women's section of the prison since you started the course? Have you gotten any sort of commentary on it? How did it help people?
Well, this started in 2020 in the prison, so it was a pilot project, and we had before and after questionnaires that our executive director did, and that's why now after the first 30 days they started it on continuous rotation because it was so helpful. Imagine being in a prison in Colby and not being able to, I mean, you're already limited, but you're already stressed, but you don't have access to even the small areas, and so they found that people were able to interact better, and it was something that they looked forward to every day. You know, and this is what we found with Lisa's courses. My mom and I have done the course many times. We get up and we do it together, and my mom's blood pressure always comes down significantly for the day. She's had reviews on the course. There are people, because it's also on our website, that do it every year at the beginning of the year to kind of like set themselves for the year, you know, and they it helps with anger management, with insomnia, with depression, with anxiety.
Lisa, before you leave, because I know you're a little bit pressed for time, but is there a way that perhaps you could give Sabrina and I a small tidbit of what your course would look like?
Well, I don't know if I could give. I think you have to drop into experience it. You know, I think that life is so fast paced right now that everyone wants everything like in the pop a pill form. Right. And actually what we're trying to share is that as we consistently show up for ourselves in these little moments day after day, then what starts to happen, what starts to unfold is this new way of being with life, a new way of being within ourselves, feeling better within ourselves, setting off different reactions, chemical reactions in our bodies. So often people are living in the head, disconnected from the body, caught up in thought. And so when we're sitting here caught up in thought, we're depleting ourselves of energy. Then, even if we are in the body, we can feel contracted. So as we start to breathe life into our system, body starts to open up. Then we start to be able to anchor the mind in a deeper place, right? And so the best taste I can give is exactly what you named at the beginning, that when you connected in with me speaking, you felt spaciousness opening up or some kind of calm. And that's probably the best offering I can give in a minute.
Wow. And do the course. Fantastic. You know, on Channel 5, it will be aired every day. Yes. Just click in and do the course. I mean, we would want, you know, families to do it together, children to do it with their parents, and before they go to school. Imagine having that kind of like mental hygiene taking place before you enter into school. So there's nothing from the previous day that's stopping you from expanding your learning capacity in the new day. So, yeah.
Well, Lisa, I want to say thank you so much for giving us your time all the way in Ireland. I know that you have to leave us now, but we certainly look forward to having a bit more experience with the work that you do. And as Michelle said, this will be a treat that we will be offering to our viewers every morning before we start the morning show. And so we are so incredibly grateful for your expertise and for your guidance in mindfulness as well.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it, and for offering this to everybody.
Yes.
So Michelle, you said that we as Belizeans will be able to tune in and do the course. For our viewers, is there anything that they would need to start?
Well, it progressively moves into it progressively moves forward. So at first, I guess just something to sit on, because it's done on the floor primarily, and maybe the wall to help support the back, or even on the chair, it's fine. She starts just really teaching you how to breathe. And then progressively she uses the breath to get you energized, to get you calm. She does alternate nostril breathing to help you regulate your nervous system. She does some stretches, but very basic moves so that you, at the end of the course, you feel as though, wait, I'm kind of like a new person. I'm reborn. I can do certain things that I was never able to do before. And it's 30 minutes of your time every morning. It's also very meditative. You can, for people that have a difficulty in the beginning to just sit quiet, it teaches you how to enter into that space of calm without it being, oh, what do I do? You know what I mean? There's some beautiful guided meditation with breath, and Lisa has, as you can tell, she has a very beautiful way of expressing herself.
She's very calm.
So she draws you in to the practice, and I'm just really proud of the fact that I have such beautiful friends and community across the world that have donated their time. I mean, that the course is pretty professionally done, and she did it,
How many weeks is it? How long does the course
So
take?
it's 30 days, but we have, Rhythm of Change is, we were doing a lot of work pre-COVID. And we were in schools, we were all over the place, and we even through the government of India, we were able to send some Belizeans to India to train as yoga instructors, who ended up helping me with the programs, filling in with some of the programs, and then doing community work. But when I came back from India, it's like I just had this. Well, I first had this dream, and it all started really with trying to figure out how we were going to fill the void in a time that what I was doing was so necessary, and so I kind of reached out to my international community with the different expertise that they had, like I'd said before, and Lisa donated the breath work. I have a friend that is a child psychologist, and we ended up creating a complete children's yoga curriculum. We have like 10 years of content because we did class. Anne helped with class structure, and we filmed those. So those will be also available on TV. There's a lot. Chair yoga, our Belizean community help. There's a lot. And
I have to say that when it comes to stuff like this, I was really appreciative when Lisa said all of these things, your mind, your body, your soul, it's very interconnected.
And that's what yoga is.
It is. But I think for myself, and speaking on my own, it's just to sit there and do nothing. It is as difficult as you say. And
for a lot of people,
and after I think a while, you start to get used to just like listening to your breath and feeling that calm, because I know we can breathe, right? But there is a certain level of inhale, exhale, and for people that are anxiety ridden, that's a lot harder than it sounds.
Yeah.
So things like if you have back problems, it's a good way of like helping you with your posture. It's a good way of thinking about your breath. It's a good way of easing your mind.
Yeah.
I really, really like that. So
it's funny that you said that, because people, the concept of what yoga is in the West is really body centric, right?
Yeah.
It's about how you look and how you can move and how you can bend, and it's so really far detached from what it really is. And so people would always say, what's the most difficult pose that you can do? And I would tell them the most difficult posture is really just lying in Shavasana and letting yourself float. Yeah. That's the most difficult, because your mind is constantly working, and it's constantly telling you that you have to move something. And just being quiet and still can be so beneficial in 15 minutes.
Yeah. This has been such a overwhelmingly I don't know. I feel like I have an overwhelming feeling of gratitude having you here, Michelle, talking about what this phase of meditation and mindfulness exercises will do for our viewers, even having something like this available to our viewers in the near future, really, because it's coming very, very soon. I think it's something just so incredible, and I'm hoping that people will take advantage of what it can provide to them. But aside from that, I know that you still have your Shanti place and center there. And so if persons are looking for that opportunity to get that in-person experience, they can do that as well. Let's quickly just talk about that.
Okay, thank you. Well, Shanti is, you know, we've been in business for over 10 years now, and we've really grown. Like every couple years, we add something new. So now we're offering yoga classes. We'll be offering breathwork classes. We offer yoga classes for all walks of life. You know, anybody that's new or advanced, we've got that. We also have pool yoga. We're starting at Harborview to do aqua fitness. So that's a little bit, it's a little bit more intense. You could do like HIIT classes in the water to help with resistance.
Love that. Fantastic.
We have
that's good for people with like injuries as well.
We also have our spa that does holistic massages and healing massages, and of course we have our naturopathy department section, which Dr. Kumar is there, and he's offering.
He is incredible. Dr. Kumar, I know you tell me to come, and I will, I promise. But he is incredible, guys. And this is like a.
And he has a wealth of information as well.
He's incredible. He has a master's degree in yoga, so he combines it. But he's a doctor of naturopathy. And he knows the body inside out. If you have any ailments, it also his therapies also help with all the things like anxiety, depression, irritable bowel syndrome, digestion. But if you have any joint pains, he's the only one right now that's doing Doran therapy in Belize, and it's a very subtle, gentle way of aligning the joints and the
first time I saw him, guys, I laid on the bed and he told me one of my foot was longer than the other. And apparently he fixed it.
No, that's often the case for people.
I did not know that.
It's often the case for people, and what happens is that from that misalignment, so many things come: lower back pain, spinal problems, neck pain. And then they're trying to fix the neck pain, but it's really their hip.
That's
so crazy.
The other day we were in Social Security, and he was looking at this woman, and I said, "What are you doing?" He goes, there's something wrong with her hip. Like, I need to tell her there's something wrong, because he can see it. That is not from people that can see regularly. They don't see it, but he can see it. And in the end, the woman came, and now she's good. She realizes why she had the pain that she was experiencing, and she's good. Wow. So. And he's spiritual, that he brings that into it. So, so we're doing so much, right? And then we have, I have Reiki attunements coming up in February. We have a lot of spa attendants throughout the country in hotels doing Reiki now from the Reiki training that I offer. In end of April to May, I'm hoping to do another teacher training. We also have teachers across the country in hotels teaching yoga, and so it's an exciting time where we're always expanding. So I kind of have to split myself, nonprofit, trying to get the masses. See, one of our past yoga teacher trainees was a BDF.
Wow.
And so he's now offering. I think he manages the wellness center at the BTF.
This is great though, because
he offers yoga and meditation classes.
That's a stressful job, so you want to be able to be in this zen of this zone of zen all the time in order to be able to prepare for your job. But Michelle, we are out of time. I would want to sit here and talk more about this. I wish you brought your yoga mat so that we could have done yoga, but another time.
I'm sorry.
And,
but do the course.
Yes,
do the
we
course.
will.
Or come to Shanti and speak to us, or speak to Dr. Kumar, get an idea, be a part of the community. That's what we're trying to build.
Thank you so much for joining us. And of course, a big thank you to Lisa for joining us during the time that she could.
Yes.
And like you said, it's going to be aired at 5 o'clock.
I think it's, from what I understand, it's going to be before the show.
It might be 6.
So might be
and it's only half an hour. So I think
it's 6:30.
And I think they said it's starting in February. So
all right. Well, we're going to be having our viewers tuned in from 6 o'clock. But thank you so much, Michelle, for dropping
Also,
by.
I think Lisa sent an ad to explain it. So if you guys play that, people will understand what they're getting into.
Oh, perfect. Thank you so much.
But thank you again for the invitation, and thank you for your continuous support. I'm so grateful for Marlene. Like we go way back, and always filled with gratitude, guys.
Thank you for joining us. We do got to take a quick break though, and then we're going to be switching gears. Speaking of BDF, it's all about the BDF Day and celebrating national unity with our Belize Defense Force. You don't want to miss that conversation. We'll be right back.